Let's take a look at some pharma shares, though, here. AstraZeneca, you're seeing those shares moving this morning, flat just barely to the upside here. Bristol Myers Squibb and J&J also on the move. These are just 3 out of the 10 healthcare companies signing on to an agreement to negotiate drug prices out this morning. Manufacturers for all 10 drugs selected for negotiation have signed agreements to participate in Medicare's drug price reduction program. The Inflation Reduction Act's negotiation program was implemented over the summer, and it sees a cap for how much a drug can fairly cost for Medicare enrollees. For more on this, we've got Yahoo Finance reporter Anjali Khemlani. Hey, Anjali.
Hey, Brad, that's right. Good news, of course, for the Biden administration, with these companies all agreeing to sign on with the CMS price negotiations this morning. We saw an indication last week, starting with, some of these companies starting to say and signal their intent to start these negotiations, despite the fact that many of them are still engaged in lawsuits with the administration. Starting last week, you saw AstraZeneca, as you can see on your screen, up as late as yesterday. Some of those companies coming out. Now, these CMS Medicare pricing negotiations are targeting the drugs of several companies, looking at those that cost Medicare more, especially in plan year 2022. They used that as part of the metric. And you can see that there are, a number of them that either have broad use among the Medicare population, like more than 1 million of the enrollees, are on some of these drugs, and they cost a few hundred or several $1,000s. As you can see on your screen, that variation between what the companies are charging Medicare. And I reached out to several of those companies, and it seems like while they do still intend to keep the litigation in place, they are willing to negotiate or at least start that process. AstraZeneca said in a comment to Yahoo Finance that they remain committed to ensuring that patients have access to their drugs, and while also planning to, participate. Novartis said that they had signed the agreement because it was, quote, their only viable option. It was, if they had not signed the agreement, Novartis would have faced excessive and, quote, crippling fines. Now, those fines that these companies are facing include either a 65 to 95% tax on the drugs or removing their drugs altogether. Johnson & Johnson said in a statement that they believe that the drug pricing is going to be damaging to innovation. That's a line that many pharma companies have used, especially in their lawsuits, saying that the pressure from these negotiations could damage future investment. Now, what the timeline looks like now is that while these lawsuits are going on in the background, they also do have the first round of negotiations starting in the fall. The February is when CMS will offer their first price, and then we'll get that look at that final negotiation price by September of next year. So it's about a year before we get any visibility into this. So as you can see, just the starting off point, and really the starting gun at this point for this round of negotiations, and pharma companies basically kicking and screaming while they enter a negotiation process.